What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Free Tip Scout live stream with me, Free Tip Scout. How was everyone's weekend? I'm super glad to see everyone is back in the chat again and back on this stream. We've got a really cool stream planned today. I'm really up for it after a boozy and very tiresome weekend, which I know a lot of you guys already know, but I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling good to go again. So yeah, apologies if you were one of those guys that was waiting for the stream yesterday. But I just, for your benefit and for mine, there was no point us doing it because I was just an absolute mess because Luton got promoted and I had to celebrate that. And if you don't know, if you're brand new to the channel and you're wondering why we're talking about Luton and why I'm talking about the stream that we didn't do yesterday, it's because I was born and bred in Luton. Yes, I grew up there. I don't live there anymore. But obviously the huge story from the weekend was Luton getting promoted to the Premier League. And I happened to be out at the time, and yeah, it was that old lie of not going too hard, and then all of a sudden, when that happened, there was no holding back. So yeah, I needed to take a bit of time out from yesterday. So apologies again if you missed the stream, but we're back now, and we've got our nice schedule where we're going to be streaming now every single day up until Thursday. And today's stream, we are going to be focusing on the midweek. So we're going to be looking at the games which are happening from the game week starting tomorrow. So all the midweek games which are happening. And to be fair, there's quite a lot of them. So there's a lot for us. This is how my game week's going in Sorare. You can see here, very promising, it says on the screen. So at the moment, we are winning 3 limited cards, although I can tell you right now that it's going to drop down to 2. And I'm going to show you why it's going to drop down to 2, because we're not going to be able to hang on to the tier 5. But that's not a deal breaker, is it? We are at the low end of a tier 5. And we're not going to be able to hold on to a tier 5, so that's absolutely fine. We're not going to worry about that. But yeah, 3 cards at the moment, 1,330 Sorare coins. So you guys, if you've been on these streams regularly, you know that my target every single game week, especially on the weekend game weeks actually, is to try and earn about 1,000 Sorare coins, and certainly 1,000 and above. If we get 1,000, it's a pretty good game week. 1,330 is a lot for us. I think that's one of the most that we've actually ever had. Since they introduced the Sorare coins. So pretty good, actually. And you can see on the right-hand side here, we've had some monster scores from a lot of our players. Now, I didn't even play Javier Aquino, yet Javier Aquino got a score of 100. And Tigres, they won the final in amazing, dramatic fashion. It went to extra time, and then they were 2-0 down, and they ended up winning 3-2. Great for them. But yeah, just a bit wasted because I didn't play him in any teams. No Brazato, we did play, and I'll show you exactly how that score is helping us to a card award. Aaron Herrera, we did also play, which was great. So he got a 97.6, which is amazing. And I actually remember, I can't remember who it was, but I remember recommending Aaron Herrera as a finer player on last Thursday's stream. Because, yeah, I was saying that, like, Aaron Herrera has such a low L15 that he would have been perfect. He had the right fixture for it, the right high-end scoring to his game, and he had the right L15. And his price was stupidly cheap as well. I said, I'm playing Aaron Herrera because I think he can explode against Inter Miami. And he absolutely did. So whoever that final player was for, as I say, I can't remember. So I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, let me know if you did end up using them in your lineups and whether that helps you to a card award. Let's just quickly run through where am I getting the card awards from, right? Let's start off with All-Star Limited. So this is our All-Star Limited team that is not going to hold on to a tier 5, guys. So at the moment, we're winning a tier 5 limited, as you can see here, but we're not going to hold on to this. And it's a little bit of a shame, right? Because we've had some pretty good scores, not like amazing scores, right? It's only 344 points, but that's still pretty decent. You can tell that the big letdown here was Jordan White. He actually came off injured, I believe, Jordan White. So we didn't really get you can see here, 45 minutes he only played. He kind of came off injured. So it kind of screwed us a little bit. He might have been able to get involved in a goal, but yeah, decent effort from these guys. The only thing is, you can see here, if we just take it down here, look, you can see that we're at the bottom end. So right now, we're 2,466th, right? There's 98% of the teams that are complete on the leaderboard. So there's 2% more games to play, and we have a cushion of 0.63 points. So we have to survive, basically, another 34 positions, and we have our cushion of 0.63 points. We're not going to hold on to it, basically. There's going to be games that are going to be played today, and it's going to knock us out of the points, or of the card awards. But it honestly doesn't really matter too much. It's only a tier 5, so tier 5 is probably going to be at this level of a T5. Probably going to be a card that's worth 50, 60p. So yeah, not a big loss there. But it's quite nice to see that this was a team that actually surprised me, because I wasn't expecting it to do this good. So the fact that we had a chance to win a card award here, yeah, we can take a lot from that, which is good. Let's go back through. Where's the other one? Here we go. So let's find the other ones. So Asia, this is where we're getting the next card from. Fabra lost 10 points in the last 20 minutes for 2,000 a yellow. Yeah, I watched that as well. I wasn't watching the game, but I was watching Fabra's scoring quite closely as the game was kind of getting towards the latter stages. And I remember seeing that he was on like 75 points, right? And then I kind of looked away for like 2 minutes, and I looked back at it again, and then he had dropped down to like 66 points or 65 points. And I was like, what the hell? And it was because of those fouls and those yellow cards, which is a real shame. Because if that hadn't have happened, I think we would have then been able to have definitely held on to a card award. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it's only a tier 5, isn't it? Champion Asia, guys. We win our first card in Champion Asia this season. So it's taken us a while to win a card here in Champion Asia since the new season started. We finally got there, and we got there because we've got some great players that have all delivered at the same time, apart from Yuya Asano. So Yuya Asano got a very uncharacteristically low score here of 29.4. And if we just click on Yuya Asano, I mean, of all games where he doesn't turn up, it was the game where everyone else in our team turned up. Because if you look at Yuya Asano so far this season, he's decisive scoring in pretty much every single game. He's been on a ridiculous run of form, and he's a great player as well. And this is the one score so far this season that has been really, really bad. So we got a little bit unlucky there. However, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to finish around 238th, maybe 250th, right? Because you can see here, that's where we're projected to finish based on the L15 averages of everyone else to play. So this is a good effort here. We get a perfect score of 100 from No Rosato. We captained Akito Fukumori, who gets 73.7 with a nice decisive there of a last man tackle. We have Songbin Kyun in our goal, who is a goalkeeper that I picked up a couple of weeks back. He's still not kept a clean sheet, but what I love about him is that even though he didn't keep a clean sheet in this game, he's still able to do so much in his AA, right, to get him into a 60-point score, which is incredible. So I'm really liking this guy at the moment, and I mentioned it when I picked him up, that the moment he keeps a clean sheet, he's going to deliver a monster score. And then, of course, we have Kasper Juncker, who's our main forward, who delivers us a goal. Surprise, surprise, or not really surprise, surprise, right? Because Kasper Juncker is so good that you can pretty much expect him to get a goal or some kind of attacking return every single game. The only thing with Kasper Juncker, he doesn't really have any AA scoring whatsoever. So in order for him to kind of hit into the 80-point range and above, you really need him to get multiple decisives. Otherwise, if he just gets you a goal, he's going to get you around 60 points and pretty much no more. But that's okay. We're in line here to get a tier 4. It's a higher end tier 4. So yeah, we're about 10 points away from a tier 3. So we should get something decent here, hopefully. The only thing that I want from this, guys, is I don't want a K-League player, right? Because I don't play K-League, and I would really like if we just got another, say, J-League player. That would be amazing. If we get a K-League player, we're just going to sell straight away. Depending on who we get from a J-League player, we'll either keep or sell. But if we get a nice J-League player, we're probably going to be keeping them more rather than selling them. So I think we do need to give ourselves a little bit more options, like strength in depth, because we're a little bit light. So like if anyone gets injured from this team here, then we're going to be scraping the barrel a little bit as to who can then come in and still deliver like good scores like this. So we do need a bit more depth in our Champion Asia team, which is why I'm hoping we get a J-League card, and then we can keep the J-League card, and then it just gives us more options. But if we get a K-League card, 100% we're selling it, no matter what. And then the other team, let's go back here. The other team that we're in line to win a card award, guys, is Cap 220. Cap 220. Guys, this is huge for us, and this is well overdue. So this is our RTG Pauper to Podium team, and we started this series back in January, and I kid you not, it's been such a challenge, this series, because It's been a challenge because when we started it, the market conditions of being able to trade up and make profits was so difficult that the market was crashing as we were building our teams. And so we kind of were so restricted to keep trading up, to keep improving our team. We couldn't really trade for a couple of months, really, to be honest with you. And then it's only really just picked up over the last kind of few weeks, few months or so. And we've been able to do some more trades, just mix up the team a little bit. And finally, we get our first card reward in Cap 220 with an RTG Pauper the Podium squad. Delighted for this. Yes, it's only going to be a tier 5 at the moment, which is not amazing, but we will take it. We'll take it. It's progress. We're winning our first card award, and we should be able to cling on to this, right? Because in Cap 220, it's paying up to 1,228 positions, and we are, at the moment, 680th, and we're projected to finish around 725th. So we should not drop out of the card awards here at all. But the one that you really want to target from this team specifically is Leonardo. And if you didn't know about Leonardo, I'm just going to quickly show you him now. He's 26 years old, and he is absolutely smashing it in the Chinese Super League. He's been smashing these crazy scores. He's kind of cooled off a little bit over the last 2 games. But he's got this in his locker where he can deliver you like 70, 80 point scoring. He's been doing really well. So yeah, he's a bit expensive now, I think at £40. When I was looking at him a few weeks back, was it a few weeks back? I think he was around 20, yeah. Look at that here. So a few weeks back, he was around £20, which I thought was okay, actually, for a Brazilian 26-year-old forward. £40 is too much as an average, and then his list price at the moment on the market is £73. That is far too much for me personally. So I kind of feel like, yeah, he's now being overinflated. He had a big spike here after that incredible run. But yeah, I think £20 was the time to pick him up. Maybe he can drop back down to £20 again. I think if he does, he'd be a really good player to look at £20. But I think £40 is probably a little bit too much right now. I mean, maybe Pozuelo is actually a really good one to look at here for £5.22. Marlos Moreno. Yeah, we'll have a look at Marlos Moreno right now in a minute. We're definitely going to talk about Pozuelo because Pozuelo is brilliant. He's the playmaker in the team, basically. He fits in just behind the forward line, and he's in incredible form right now. Look at this form. 2 goals here, then an assist, and a goal here, and another assist. Brilliant player, really good. Good AA as well for a midfielder. 12.9 is absolutely fantastic, really, as an average over the past year. Gives you goals, gives you assists, and he doesn't really bomb too often either. He's quite consistent. Almost like, you can see that here, look at that. Really good. So he would definitely, in my opinion, be someone that would be worth targeting for this game in the midweek. The only thing you'd have to think about here and consider is that his L15's 54, which makes him kind of out of the question, really, for a Cap 220, unless you then got some really low-cost people around him. He'd be okay, technically, for Threshold, and he's probably quite a good Threshold player because he can get you scores like this, right? Like nearly 100, that is then nearly half of what you need to get to Threshold. He's also a good age still, only 31, and his price is quite attractive at £5.22, with it being so close to the end of the season. I think you could probably get him for less than a £5, actually. Be surprised if you couldn't. Have a quick look. Yeah, this guy here, 3 days ago, got him for £4.53, £4.56 here. His price has been climbing recently because it is quite a favourable fixture that he has in the midweek. Francisco Calvo's always good. There's some talk about Calvo. He's maybe, there's a couple of clubs that are interested in him. So he's a very good player. He was playing in the MLS as well last season. And it was a shame when he left the MLS because even though he was playing for San Jose Earthquakes, who defensively were not that great, and then still not that great in my opinion today, he was still able to like knock out some great scores for San Jose Earthquakes. And he's kind of shown that he can deliver even better scoring since he's moved to like Konyaspor. Good player, this guy, and really good, I think, to target in this fixture. For £2.14 or £2.46, that's pretty good. He's only 30 years old still. His L15's high at 52, yes, but you could use him in Threshold, and you could use him potentially in Cap 270. And he's got the fixture really where he should be able to, in theory, give you a mid-range score at least. Gula's excellent, but he's really expensive for good reason as well, because he's an 18-year-old. And he's like the next big thing, isn't he, Gula? And he's so good right now at 18. Imagine how good this guy's going to be in like 5 years' time when he's started to like master his game a bit more, kind of like cut out any silly errors in his game, which to be fair, there aren't many. But look, he's knocking scores of 90, 95, 96. Ridiculously good. So I know that a lot of you guys already know about this player. If you don't, if you're new to the game and new to Sorare and you've not heard of this guy, then 1000% add him to your watch lists. He's really expensive, right? But he gives you a lot of utility. He's going to be a national player. He's going to be basically the next big thing in Turkey. The next big like player that Turkey have produced is this guy here, Arda Güler. He's crazy good. He's L1561, so you could play him in a Cap 270 quite easily at a cost of 61 and still be able to like afford a nice rounded team. I think if you're a budget player, this is just not the type of player that you're going to be able to afford. If you are on a really tight budget. So you might be able to get in on him maybe in the off-season, right? So once all these games are done, maybe his price comes to under £50, right? And then potentially gets to 40. You'd like to hope it might get to around 40. Then that would look fantastic to then pick him. Let's have a little look at Shalai. Because this guy here is still really young. He's not quite been hitting the heights that I think personally he's capable of. In SO5, he's been doing okay. So in SO5, he's got an AA of 15.5. His decisive score average is lower because he doesn't really get involved in lots of attacking returns. He's the start. He plays every single game. He's been delivering some great scores recently. He's been a player that has been touted for so long to be this kind of like this real big next Hungarian talent defensively. And he still is kind of considered that. It'd be interesting to see what happens with him. He's got this long-term contract. He's been on the radar of quite a few European clubs. And he's probably got a good fixture here, I think. At home against Antalyaspor. I think that's a good fixture for him. In fact, his home form, when you look at it, his home form's quite consistent over the last 10 games or so. So 14.8 in his AA, lots of scores of 60 points or more. You'd expect him to maybe get the 10 points. This guy's not someone to target, I think, for the midweek, right? First of all, it's against Fenerbahce. This guy's actually scored a lot of goals over the past year. He's scored a lot of goals given that he's playing for a really bad team. So he scored 16 and he's got 2 assists. He's actually quite young, still at 25, and he's American. Be interesting to see what happens with him like next season or the coming seasons, because there's actually a good player here, a very good player, and there's a good goal scorer here. But I think he's just not really playing for a good enough team. He's got a little bit of experience international as well for the USA national team, but I would like to see him move to a better team than this. We probably need to look at this guy here, Sam Larsson, a little bit. Sam Larsson, again, good player to target for next season. Can give you some high-end scoring, some real high-end scoring. He's a bit hit and miss, and he's a bit of a higher risk, higher reward player. So there'll be times where he just massively just disappears, right? And he just gives you some like real scoring that just doesn't matter. But when he turns up, he really turns up. You can see that here. 9 goals, 12 assists, 14.3 in his AA. There's 3 perfect scores of 100 alone over the past, in his all-time, over the past 54 games, basically. I like this guy a lot. I think he's so overlooked. And part of the reason why he's overlooked, guys, is look, there's only 35 limited cards of him. There's 13 rares. You have to say, for a player that can deliver you monster scores like this, and for a player that's in such scarce supply, it's actually quite surprising that he's that cheap. Because usually a player like this that is able to do that level of scoring, and there's such few cards of them in the game, there's usually a big premium on their price. There doesn't really seem to be like that. he's really cheap, I think, given that there are only few cards of him in the game, and he can kind of hit you perfect scores of 100. So someone to keep in mind, guys, for next season, because I think a lot of managers have either not aware of him or they've overlooked him, and he single-handedly can give you a podium with a perfect score of 100. Congratulations to Oates, who wins an August Gerbalak card, and congratulations also to Gisa Legend, who was number 160, who wins a Marco Carbo limited card. Plus, congratulations also to number 14, Shadow Champion 5, who wins a Dimitri Leonard limited card. So congratulations to all the winners from today's live stream giveaway. When we hit 350 subs on the channel, we'll be doing another massive giveaway where we'll actually go out and we'll scout the players, we'll buy them together. You guys will be able to pick who you want to win in the giveaways. So if you've not subscribed and you want to take part in that huge giveaway, as I say, we done one last week at 230 subs and then another one when we hit our milestone goal of 300. We gave away some insane, and I mean insane cards. It was so much fun. And you'll be able to check out that stream from us actually scouting the players and then buying them on the channel, guys. So make sure that you check it out. Also, just whilst we're on the topic of giveaways, for anybody here that did not win a card, you actually have an opportunity to win a card because I'm running another giveaway here off the Twitch page. I'm running it on my Twitter page. And this giveaway that I'm running for this week ends this Thursday. So, yeah, if you wanted to win a card and you just missed the opportunity there is another opportunity to win a card by checking me out on FreeTipScout Twitter. So go to twitter.com/FreeTipScout. This is my page here, which you can see on the screen. And if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see that there's this pinned tweet here, which I launched, I started this new giveaway about 22 hours ago, it says. And I'm giving away 4 limited cards to be won in that giveaway by 4 different followers. Now, you don't need to be a subscriber to the Twitch channel to take part in that. All you need to be doing is following me on my Twitch channel and then following me on my Twitter page and then just retweet and like that. And yeah, we'll be doing the draw live this Thursday. We'll be giving away 4 cards here. And they're 4 cool cards, actually. Arne Engels is one of them. Then what we've got is we've got Maxwell Cornet in there as well. We've got Doria. Doria's been smashing it recently towards the back end of the Liga MX. So it's a decent card to win for the summer as well. And then we're giving away Victor Lobry as well. So a nice mix of cards there. Make sure that you check it out, guys. Do not miss your opportunity to take part and win cards for free, basically, as part of the FreeTipScout live giveaway. Let's talk about this game here, right? We're going to avoid the Sevilla Roma game. That's not one you want to be targeting at all, guys. But this game's probably worth a mention, right? Ura Red Diamonds against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. I like this game because Ura Red Diamonds are a decent team and they've got lots of good players. And they've got players with a lot of quality as well that aren't that expensive. At the same time, Sanfrecce Hiroshima have an amazing player of this guy here, Sho Sasaki. Sho Sasaki's excellent. Doesn't matter whether he plays home or away or the opponent. His scoring is always really, really strong. And you can see that here. He's one of the highest scoring defenders in Asia. 25.1 in his AA. Just incredible player. Gives you so many routes to scores as well. Like his decisive game is pretty good. 6 goals, 4 assists, 2 penalties, 1 last man tackle clearance off the line. Guy's an absolute joke. Really good. He's expensive. Like he's 35 pounds and he's an age of 33. For this consistent level of high-end scoring, he's definitely worth a mention. If you have the budget for this type of player, then you really do need to be thinking about not only just bringing him in for the midweek, but just kind of like bringing him into your Asia teams in general, because he's that good. There's also a couple of other players here at their back line for Hiroshima who are decent. So Araki's also good too. He's £12.94. Doesn't offer you the same level of scoring, right, as someone like Sasaki, but his AA is still strong at 20. He's good at the mid-range. He doesn't really bomb too often. And you can see here. This guy's the absolute monster for the team, Alexander Schultz, and for good reason. He's super expensive. He's been for some time now, one of the very best defenders in the Asia League, for good reason. Look how many goals this guy, who's a defender, by the way, he's a defender and he's delivered 21 goals in 111 games. 21 goals. Some forwards don't even come close to that. So he's a brilliant player. He's so good. His scoring is just a joke. Look. An absolute joke. Monster in the game. AA-wise, gives you loads of decisives from different ways. I wish that I could be able to afford this guy. I think there'll be quite a few of you that maybe can't rate if you're running a budget. But if you can afford him and you didn't know of him, then he's definitely one that you should be bringing into your teams for this midweek for long-term. Alexander Schultz. We do need to quickly talk about the Chinese Super League games as well, because there are a couple here, especially this one. Home game here for Beijing. Michael Nagadu is the clear standout, right? £10.35 if you need a high-performing defender with a low L15 that has the potential to really hit hard for you, and you've got around £10 to spend. And this guy here, look at this. The opponent's score is 55. So he'd be well worth targeting actually this midweek, guys, alongside Kang Sang-woo. As Kang Sang-woo, I really love this guy a lot. And again, look, Kang Sang-woo has started to hit some amazing form recently. He's £6.57. He's delivering you high-end scoring. So again, good fixture for him to do really well. I think if you're going to be playing in Champion Asia, you maybe don't want to be playing in Champion Asia unless you've got the likes of Kang Sang-woo, Michael Nagadu. You need a couple of players, I think, from this team, or then you need a player like this, Leonardo. Because Leonardo will most likely do well too, but I would be targeting. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And we'll be back again tomorrow at 1 p.m. UK time. If you've not joined the Discord, then you will be able to find me in the Discord for the next couple of hours, and of course on Twitter. For the guys that won the cards today, I'll be dropping you a message straight after the stream. So make sure that you respond back to me within a week to claim those cards. You'll also be able to find the highlights from today's stream that we posted up on Twitch later tonight, and also YouTube, with potentially some short clips as well to TikTok. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support on today's stream. Good luck with the rest of your lineup building for the midweek.